Alright y'all, here we go. Today what I just want to talk to y'all about real quick is drones. What we have in stock right now is a couple of these Vivitar Aeroview drones. And one thing I want to point out to y'all real quick about drones is you'll see a lot of the smaller drones that you might see in stores, like these ones right here. Basic drones you'll see, and they'll say for beginners. My personal opinion is your cheaper drones, especially the ones that say for beginners, are actually going to be for more experienced users than they will be for drones. If you want to get a drone and you want to make sure it's going to be something for you and you're not experienced at flying a drone or using a drone, you want to make sure it has a couple of key features in it. You want to make sure it actually has GPS on it. You want to make sure it has auto return and auto hover. If you get beginner drones, you're going to notice they actually have things like this on the bottom, which is going to be for your trim. Most people who've never flown a drone before are not going to know how to use the trim. The trim is going to be for when the drone takes off, or your helicopter, whatever it is that requires a trim, to try to keep it level and going where you want it to go. If you have something like this, which are going to be a little bit more, they range anywhere from 99 to about 150, they're actually going to have all those stabilization controls in there for you. You're going to notice that a couple of more ones that say for beginners will say something like optical flow. These ones right here don't have optical flow, but even if you have optical flow, it won't stop the drone from actually deciding to want to drift away from you. So again, the smaller drones that say for beginners, if you've never flown a drone before, those aren't the ones that you really want to get. You want to make sure you get something that's going to be at least between your $100 to $150 range. You want to make sure it actually has GPS on it. You'll notice it'll be on the box. You want to make sure it has GPS on it. You want to make sure it has auto hover on it. And you want to also make sure it has auto return home. Without those things right there, as a beginner, you have a high risk of losing your drone. I'm going to say that again. If it doesn't have GPS to be able to lock in place where the actual person is controlling the drone, you have a high risk of losing your drone. So if you wind up getting your drone $60, $70 because you thought it was a beginner drone, you take it off and it flies away from you, you just threw away $70 because you're not getting that drone back. So that's an important thing I just want to point out to y'all real quick about drones and beginner drones. And then what I'm getting ready to show y'all now is this one right here, the Vivitar Aeroview drone. So if you ever do want to get into drones, this is probably the most basic and cheapest drone that you can get into that will do everything that you want to do. So what we're going to do is go ahead and unbox it. We're going to talk about this drone a little bit. Alright, so pretty much once you get everything out the box and package, this is pretty much what you should wind up with. You're gonna have your camera. It's supposed to be a 1080p camera. You're gonna have 4 legs. You're gonna have to screw these on right there to the bottom of the drone. These right here are going to be your shields for your actual blades. We'll talk about those in a minute. It's going to be your lithium battery. It's going to be the holder. This is going to be the holder right here for your actual controller. It's going to hold in your cell phone when you mount it to your controller. You're going to have your controller. Going to be extra blades in case you do damage your blades on your drones. This is going to be your charger right there on the inside too for your battery. They're going to give you batteries right here for your remote to start off with. And again, like I said, you're gonna have your instruction manual. So next we're gonna do is going ahead and put it together. Just want to talk about these two pieces right here. They are optional, but it's recommended if you are a beginner. You do not have to have your shields covering your blades if you don't want to put these on your drone. But if you don't know where you're going and you fly into a bush or you fly into a tree, your blades are most likely going to get damaged. Not only are they going to get damaged, you have a high chance of it catching leaves and branches and it getting stuck in the actual tree. The legs, again, if you don't want to use your legs, you don't have to use your legs. But again, if you're a beginner, it's a good thing to always make sure you have your legs on, because what it does is it gives you clearance from the ground, providing you with a better takeoff and a more stable landing. So again, it's just some things you want to have to help protect the drone and for the life of the drone. But again, you do not need them to have your drone operating. You're going to take these pieces right here, and they just easily just slide in to the side of your drone right here. You're going to notice a little groove right there in the middle. Take these, slap them right in. And just repeat that process all the way around. Next, you want to go ahead and grab your legs, your drone, flip it upside down. And right there, you're going to attach it with the leg pointing out towards the outside. Put it in the hole, just like that. And repeat the process again all the way around. Alright, so pretty much now that we've gotten all that stuff taken care of, you can start removing the stickers off of all your actual pieces. So pretty much all this one's going to let you know is to make sure that when you operate the drone, make sure that all the lights are steady and at a spring position before you start flying, before you try to operate your drone. If you operate the drone and the lights aren't in the proper color and you take it off, it's a possibility your drone might fly away or start flying erratically and you don't know where it's going. So make sure that your lights are in all their correct colors before you take your drone off. So that's pretty much what this is explaining to you. So now we can go ahead and take this sticker off. I hate how some of that tape that they use leaves all that nasty stuff off. We'll clean that off later, no biggie. And on the back of it right here, I'm gonna go ahead and place those batteries in. So with all that being said and done and taken care of, we can also open this right here now. Inside this package right here is gonna be your charger, your screws, and an extra set of blades. And also your screwdriver, so we can place all those screws where they're supposed to be at in the drone. When it comes to these blades right here, they don't necessarily actually give you replacements for the front. Whenever you replace your blades, you want to always make sure you replace them in the correct position to where they went at on the drone. So like if you notice on this one right here, this is not going to be the correct position for this drone. So what's going to wind up happening is if you put the wrong blade on the wrong place where it's supposed to go, your drone's not going to fly properly. So make sure whenever you're replacing the blades on your drone, you replace them in the proper place where they're supposed to go in the proper position. These cameras, the cameras, I'll be honest with you, are not 100% the best quality of cameras. But again, these are going to be your beginner drones. This is going to be something you want to start off with before you invest all of your money as you learn how to fly your drone. You want to make sure you learn how to fly your drone properly before you invest too much money in one. That's my personal recommendation. I know the DJI Sparks and the Mavericks, and there's a couple of other ones out there that do have sensors to stop you from flying them into trees, stop you from hitting objects, but everything's not 100% guaranteed. So you want to make sure that's something you want to look into when you're purchasing your drone, on the quality of your camera. So this one I believe right here does come with the 1080p camera, but it's not going to be 4K. You can also buy different attachments, so you could put a GoPro or wherever, and it'll replace this mount right here that goes onto the bottom of your drone, so you can connect your own GoPro. The only slight problem with that is if you connect your own GoPro or another drone, when flying the actual drone with the app, you won't see exactly your position of where you're going, because you won't be no longer using the actual camera that came with the drone. You're going to be using your own drone. So with that being said, if you want to, depending on the weight of whatever camera you're going to be using, you can take your drone and you can mount it to the top of your drone. You can mount it to other places on the bottom of your drone while still using your factory camera. So I just wanted to talk about the camera and get that out the way. When it comes to your batteries, what I like to do is I like to also order an extra battery or get another battery if possible. You'll notice that when it comes to drones, because of how much power that they use, majority of flight times you're going to get on average on a max has been about 30 minutes that I've seen on the mid to lower end drones. The average also is going to be about 15 on your locals, 15 to 20 minutes. So if you really want to go out there and fly for a while, you want to make sure you get you an extra battery. But for the most part, if you want to go out there and just fly real quick, have some quick fun, bring it back in the house, one battery will be fine for you. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It all depends on how far, how high, how fast. A lot of things will determine the length of your battery and your flight time. The top of the drone right here is just to make sure you want to, again, like when we was talking about the remote, you want to make sure that all your lights are going to be in their stable condition before you take your drone off. And you want to make sure your drone's on a level surface. You want to make sure that you have all the apps properly installed on whatever device that you use to fly it. And just go through all your checklists on your surroundings, make sure you know where everything's at. And pretty much that's it. So again, you can read these when you get them. If you got a phone app, go ahead and scan that. It'll actually take you to a website or to YouTube, I believe, and let you look at another tutorial on this video from the company. So with all that said, this is everything right here. Instruction manual. I'm not going to go over this with you. It comes with a couple of things right here, stickers for you to put on your actual device. I'll let you look through those if you ever get a chance to. So again, what we're going to do now is go ahead and finish putting it together. Take these screws from right here. You go right there to on the bottom of your drone, to where you snap these in. Drop one down in there. Those legs that you put in down here on the bottom, make sure you get a screw, put it in there. This little piece right here, this is going to be what actually holds your phone onto your remote. So go ahead and move those out the way. Unscrew this, take that out, put this in. And then take your screw. Thing takes forever right here. Got your remote put together. Screw this off the back while we got our screwdriver in our hand. Got our remote ready. Drone right here. So now we're gonna take our camera, and right here on the top, it's gonna have one for the camera, and it's also gonna have one for what's called a 2.0 machine. So if you ever want to get your drone and also get what's called a claw attachment, so you can also operate a claw, fly above some things, pick something up, lift it up, look for a 2.0 machine. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all one of those one day. I got one coming in, so that's what the other plug is going to be for. And the next thing you want to do is make sure you got the camera facing forward. And the way you'll know which way the forward direction is because the battery is in the back of the drone. Okay, so last things we're getting ready to do is go ahead and open this package up right here with the instruction manual. It's going to have a video tutorial right here. You scan this on your Android or your iOS. Pretty much hear the same thing that I just explained to you right here, but a little bit more detailed and better. Your instruction manual. One thing I'm going to do right now is take these stickers right here. Take these stickers right here and place them around the proper rings. So I'm going to take our battery. You see it's going to have a red and black connection on the back of your battery, red and black connection on the back of your drone. Alright, so pretty much once you have everything all set up, ready to go, this is what your final setup should look like right here. When you notice that the drone's lights are flashing like this, that means that it's not ready to take off. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn on your remote. After you have your remote turned on, you're going to want to go on ahead and get the app ready on your actual phone. And actually, before I go ahead and do that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights on so we can get a little bit better view. So when you go to your app, what you're going to want to connect to is going to say Vivitar Sky Drone. You're going to want to connect to that app right there. Then after you're connected to the app, we go ahead and flip this for you. After you're connected to that app, go back to your home screen and actually open up the Vivitar Skyview drone app. So you're going to see that the drone at this moment, the lights are still flashing. Once you actually go ahead and start the app on your phone, you notice now that the lights are no longer flashing. It's already tested to make sure it is level. It knows that the GPS is located to where the drone is. So at this point right now, it's already ready to fly. You can go outside and you can begin flying. You're going to come over to your screen and you're going to notice it's going to ask if you want to go ahead and calibrate it. If you want to, you can go ahead and calibrate it, which makes sure it's going to be leveled and everything like that. But since we already started at this point, it's already been leveled, so you don't actually have to do that now. So it's been snowing outside. I can't really take this outside to fly for you right now, but what I will do is go ahead and make another video for you a little bit later on down the line, and we're going to show you a couple little tricks and some things you can do with this drone. This was pretty much just a basic unboxing showing you what the product is going to look like when you receive it. And that's it right there.